chose to live as far away from humans as she could possibly get, in the desert, by herself. Like, the nearest town was a dilapidated mining town, 6 miles down a dirt road. The nearest Walmart was in Kingman, 15 miles away by highway. Kingman is where people go to disappear. Meth is rampant, and everyone has a gun. So it's not exactly a life I would choose, but she loved it and chose it until the day that she was kidnapped. The person who kidnapped my mom wasn't the scary cowboy neighbor with the 10-gallon hat and the beard down to his giant belt buckle. No, he was the one that called me and said, I don't really want to get involved, but I think your mom is in a hostage situation with meth head bikers. Yep, he said there were meth head bikers striding around her property, in and out of her house, 45 strapped to their belts. He told me she was scared. Believe it or not, it wasn't the meth head bikers who kidnapped my mom either. Did they intend to move in and take over? Absolutely. But they shoved off miraculously just before I arrived. That's right, they moved camp and were lurking just across the property line. I like to think that that means that I'm scarier than my pet bikers. It wasn't the police who kidnapped my mom. They wanted nothing to do with any of it. It's not a crime to invite people into your house, they told me. Those notes we saw, coaching your mom on what to say to you on the phone, that's not a crime either. Your mom's not on our vulnerable list, so there is nothing we can do. You should, however, not go to her house without armed backup. So neither the police nor Adult Protective Services kidnapped or even tried to help my mom. The only neurologist for 100 miles didn't try to kidnap my mom either. He couldn't. He was on an iPad, trying explaining a virtual appointment to someone with dementia. Yes, Mom, he was a real doctor. Yes, he did give you a script for some Xanax. And yes, we finally got that diagnosis to get you on the vulnerable list. Alzheimer's, yay! Except it also says you can't live by yourself anymore. So, it was up to my sister-in-law and me, the cavalry, to chase away those meth head bikers should they resurface. We got a flat tire on that dirt road outside my mom's house. The cavalry to change a tire in 110-degree heat in the desert. So we're changing the tire, and the man who stopped to help us, he didn't try to kidnap my mom either. He just kindly changed our tire. His name was Jesus, by the way. Now, I'm not terribly religious, but it's hard to overlook that we had just been saved in the desert by Jesus. So it was up to the cavalry to make the hard decisions, to try and find a way to keep my mom safe and also honor her choice for solitude. It was actually the cavalry who kidnapped my mom. I kept her distracted while my sister-in-law packed, and the three of us set off on a 4-hour journey through the desert. We tried to drug her. I put one of those Xanax in a peanut butter cracker and I gave it to her. She took a bite, slipped the pill into her hand and said, someone trying to poison me? My sister-in-law was a little bit smarter than me. She thought to crush off that Xanax and stuff it in the ding-dong at a convenience store checkout counter. Then she walked out with the ding-dong in one hand and an ice cream sandwich in the other. That ice cream sandwich looks good, my mom said. Before you ask, I ate the ding-dong. No need to let perfectly good Xanax like ding-dong. So it was the cavalry making all the tough decisions. We had to find a placement for her very last minute. It was the cavalry who took power of attorney and signed the paperwork while the staff distracted my mom in her new home. I talk to my mom every day, and it is the same conversation every day. And she says, "What's your plan for me?" Like I'm some sort of James Bond villain. And how do I explain to her that my choice would have been to have her come out here and live with me, but she would have hated that. So as part of the cavalry, I now realize that context and perspective can take an act from appalling to loving. I did fly across the country, kidnap my mom, tried to drug her, dumped her in a locked facility, and then fled. On the other hand, my mom is safe. She's not addicted to meth. She's eating 3 meals a day. She's taking medicine to slow down the degeneration of her brain. And she's in a beautiful place surrounded by people who could be her friends. Surely that's preferable to